Terrific. Okay, so I have a question for Subra. Your education at IIT Madras, how well did it prepare you to innovate in the manner that you have? Did it encourage this kind of innovation? Did it stifle it? Did it facilitate it?
I think there's a question that gets asked. In fact, add on to the points of Ganesh and what Sriram was asking. I think the point that I don't think innovation has to necessarily happen, this cross-pollination happening at campus. Obviously it's great if you have a multifunctional campus and it happens here. But I think the good thing is a single-track career path for IITs is no longer there. I think that people get into all kinds of things. I think there are lots of guys who sort of got out with my batch who are in the finance industry and who are all across the space. So cross-pollination is happening, innovation is happening, not necessarily sitting in the dorm rooms here or in the sort of hostel rooms here, but it's happening. The mic is not okay? Sorry. So to answer Gunjan's point, I think this piece of what we did at IIT at that point of time, I don't think we had any thought of entrepreneurship or innovation or something like that. I think it's India of 83 and 87. I think you were worrying about what job you'll take and sort of how you'll take care of your family. I think that's the way you would have looked at it in 83, 87. So, but the point is that it obviously gives you a huge level of confidence. It gives you a huge level of network, and it gives you a huge level of respect. I think a lot of times we underestimate the respect this sort of institution and institutions like this give us when we go out and try to do things. Whether we would have been able to do the same things without sort of being out of places like this. One is the sort of, we can say, the course content, the analytical framework, the ability to look at problems dispassionately, all that kind of stuff. The final thing is a confidence for yourself and a confidence for the people who sort of are investing in you. I'm saying investing in you time, investing in you money, working with you, colleagues. I think innumerable. I don't think there's any way one can sort of underestimate the impact that the education at IIT, the process of going through IIT, and the process of sort of networks that you made at IIT has had in your business. I don't think it's had any role in sort of stifling innovation. I think I don't think IITs have done anything to sort of put us into a narrow path or something like that. I would completely not believe that, because all the kinds of friends that I have from this batch have gone on to do very wonderful things in various places, from teaching to sort of working in finance to doing things like we do. So I think I think we're completely wrong to think that IITs are not being helpful. The only piece is, yes, I think there was a time. I think today could be very different in IIT, because I think India of 2008 and India of 87 are very different places, and I think the opportunities to do things like Professor Ganesh said are probably very different today. But the key piece to take is that I think if one sort of believes that the institution is stifling, I think that would be completely wrong.
Thank you. All right, let's look. Okay, yeah, we'll keep the interactive discussion. Okay, yeah.
That's fair enough. Very good afternoon. I'm Anurag Rana. I'm from IIT Kharagpur 2005. My point of view on this is, well, if I look at my batch and the other guys, right when you start from the JEE, the focus upon the people. First of all, if you look at the stats, every year about 6,000 people get in. And those people go out, and how many of them are actually entrepreneurs? Not even 60. So that's less than 1%. And what you put into the system, you'll get pretty much out of that. And let's say, how much is the system assisting in bringing about that change? So the JEE itself is oriented at serious number crunching. You're not going to get in people who have any industrial focus on that who are going to bring about a change. So you go to, let's say, institutes. During the PAN-IIT, actually one of the board of directors used pivoted education institutes. So that's how you get into, and my personal experience, I'll not know about the rest, is it was not the education or my course curriculum over there which helped in this change. It was the students' fests, it was the students themselves, is where you actually open up, or that cross-pollination happens. In that respect, I'll actually say that the JEE entrance and our educational system or our course curriculum is doing very, very less to give us the push in that direction. Okay. Thanks a lot.
Now, Dr. Krishnan, you might have something to say about the social network aspect of that we keep hearing from the audience.
I think it's a very interesting point of view. I'm listening here. I think if you look at, you can ask the same question about Stanford, okay? Or any of the universities where you find going by the metrics in terms of how many entrepreneurs come out of these schools, how many research papers come out, I think what they do is they actually balance the importance that is given to the theory and action, okay? Because I think it goes back to even Anu's, the first question given to Anu, because if you look at biotech, it is how long has it been since we have started really giving importance to chemistry and biology as an important subject in high school, right? I mean, like we have to take it, right? 20 years back, if you're in a high school, that you have to kind of go for either medicine or engineering, period. Otherwise, it is almost like a second-rate career you're going to have, right? So I think that is changing slowly, and that for the current time, I mean, going back to my, topic on Model T, and for today's time, the nature of education is changing. If you think that 80% of the job of teaching institutes like this can happen inside classroom, inside campus, whether you want to be an entrepreneur or not, forget about that. Even to go outside and solve business problems, I think that's too restrictive. And if you believe that faculty who are spending most of their 90% of the time inside campus, okay, or only meeting with other faculty, can actually teach this, again, I think we may be mistaken. There is a limit to that. So I think we have to kind of bring in a system where you balance the importance given to both the theory. That's also important. I mean, what we are kind of respecting now, problem solving, theoretical aspect, bringing the technical manpower or the person power, that's very important. But we have to kind of socialize from, celebrating the action-oriented piece too. Some of you mentioned that what I learned from the school, from the students or the community here is much more, how do we kind of programmatically make it happen? Right now it happens a lot outside the program actually. That's what you're saying, right? I think you could actually do something in the program. That's what we see in some of those universities where, there is nobody everybody does something because they believe that that's what they are good in, that's what they want to do at that point in time. So if you kind of bring it into the program and change it to more action-oriented, recognition, I think that will actually help this way.